Hello everyone, this is Lakshmi Ganesh Babaraju. I welcome you all to our YouTube channel VectorX Academy. Today we are going to deal the first video of our newly launched advanced batch Aswadhama 1.0. Today we are going to discuss advanced level questions on projectile that will help you to ace your JEE advanced exam. The questions are going to be very interesting, so keep your vision clear till the end of the video. So now today in this video we are gonna discuss some various concepts and various questions. So we are gonna discuss some questions based on perfect grazing and then mathematical analysis of projectile, application of projectile on various shapes, and I have given a beautiful homework question at the end of the session in which we'll be dealing the answer in the next video. And also I'm gonna give you an unique concept that I call as concept of the video. So let's see the beautiful questions in the upcoming slides. So the question one says, one has to throw a particle from one side of a fixed sphere. They're saying the sphere is fixed. Okay, sir. In a diametrical plane to another side such that it just grazes the sphere. Excellent. It is just grazing the sphere. Now, find the minimum possible speed for this condition. Very good question. This question has various sources. You can find a similar question in Pathfinder circular motion also. So, on this particular questions or else on this particular type of questions, what we need to do? First of all, try to solve this based on mathematics. Okay, you need to have a very good mathematical keen on this particular type of questions. For suppose they are saying this is u. Okay, sir, and I want the particular they're asking u minimum. What is the minimum possible speed? So how can I deal this? We know that they have given this is radius, right? This is radius. Now let's say I'm drawing a perpendicular. This will also be radius and I'm saying this angle is theta. And let's say this angle also will be theta, right? Now at this particular point, let's say the velocity is v, of course. So this is also r. So from here, what can I say beta? This particular distance becomes r sine theta. And this particular distance becomes r cos theta. And if you do the same thing, this also becomes r sine theta. Excellent. Yeah, you got the point. Now, just see this particular portion of that projectile. This is also a projectile with initial speed v and the range is r sine theta plus r sine theta. So, that particular range is 2r sine theta and that we know the formula for range is nothing but v square sine 2 theta by g. So, v square sine 2 theta I am writing it as 2 sine theta into cos theta by g. From here I can get the value of v square, that is nothing but rg by cos theta. Okay, we got the value of v square. Now what do I want? I actually want the value of u or u minimum. So how can I do that? So first of all, let's try to apply the kinematics first law, that is v square is equal to u square minus 2gh to this particular point to this particular point. So how? We know that v square is equal to u square minus 2gh. So let's say this is v. So v square is equal to u square minus 2gh. Now the point comes, what is the distance between this particular point to u? So for that what we need to do? We need to find the height. So we already found the height. This is r cos theta we said. This is r. So h will be r plus r cos theta. Yes sir, got the point. So now v square is equal to u square minus 2g. H is nothing but r plus r cos theta. Now I am gonna rearrange the terms. Right? So from here I can write u square is equal to 2gr plus rg times of 1 by cos theta plus 2 cos theta. Got the point? Now I want it to be minimum. So what do you do? Generally in minimum conditions when we are having a function, we do differentiation f dash of x and then we equate it to 0 and then we'll substitute the value of x in the given equation. So you can do the same thing and you can get the value of cos theta and then substitute it there. So now let's try to bring uniqueness in this. So if you are really a mathematical guy, you will find here AMGM inequality. Let's give AMGM inequality here. So 1 by cos theta plus 2 cos theta, right? 1 by cos theta plus 2 cos theta by 2 is greater than or equal to root of 1 by cos theta into 2 cos theta. Now, if I cancel this, the minimum value of 1 by cos theta plus 2 cos theta will become 2 root 2. Let's substitute it there. So, u square minimum. Now, we are talking about minimum. So, u square minimum is equal to 2gr plus rg times of 2 root 2. Got the point? Now, let's see the question format. How they have given the question. Let's go to back to the first question. They are giving root 2gr. They have taken root 2gr common. Let's also take root 2gr common. So u is equal to root of, let's apply root of, if I take 2gr common, we are gonna have 1 plus root 2. So the value of alpha is nothing but 1 and the value of beta is nothing but root 2. Or beta is also equal to 2 because they said beta is equal to root times of something, right? So we got the value of alpha plus beta. Now, what will be the value of alpha plus beta? 1 plus 2, that is nothing but 3. So what we did in this question, what you need to learn. So first one, you need to learn whenever we are saying this particular thing, no, try to catch that particular point in which you can apply the equation of range easily. So from that you will catch the equation of range. Yes sir, we'll catch the equation of range. And then next what will you do? And then you will try to apply to it. Yes sir, we'll try to apply to it. And then what will we do? We'll try to bring an equation in those two variables, right? And then we'll finally get the answer. This is how we get that. Yeah, now let's see the question number 2. This particular question is also a beautiful question. People say this stuff because of the mathematics included in it. But from now, if you listen to this particular video, you're going to give a new approach to this particular question. The conventional method is finding the vertexes of all the 4 vertices and then solving the question. So first of all, let's see what the question is for the people who are seeing this question for the first time. A projectile is fixed from point O on the ground so that during its flight, it just grazes the 4 corners A, B, C, D of a vertical hexagon with side length L. So they're asking you to find the various things. If you get the theta, U and everything, you can find everything. So the range are the maximum height and then initial speed of projection. I'm gonna explain you the range are in an easy way, and then I'm giving you this particular questions. Two particular questions as homework. Okay. So comment the answers in the comment section. I'm gonna see your answers and reply. And then you can send me on the Telegram your approach so that we'll have a discussion. So let's see this particular question. So this particular question is not so tough if you have understood my method. Now I'm gonna give you some new method, just concentrate on it. They're saying it is grazing, right? This particular 4 corners. My diagram may not be perfect, but just see the diagram which is sideward and then just try to understand this. Okay, I'm gonna mix this. So they are saying this is L. First of all, you should know how to find the various coordinates of this particular one. So let's say O, L and everyone is given and mainly concentrating on C, D and let's say this point as Q. Let's say the entire range as R. Okay, the range is R. They have mentioned. See, I'm going to bring mathematics in this question. As I've said, we are going to deal the mathematical analysis of projectile. Now we are going to do that. If you see this properly, how I'm going to apply mathematics. So now let's see this particular point. I'm taking this particular point, the center of this parabola as the origin. Now, will you guys say me what will be the equation of this parabola? It is a downward parabola. So that's why the equation will be y is equal to excellent. Minus kx square. You guys got the point. You guys said me y is equal to minus kx square. Let's keep this sideward. Okay. Now, what will be the various coordinates? Let's say the distance from here, we will assume it to be a. Okay. Now, I want the coordinates of C. So, first of all, try to find the various distances. So, if this is L, if I'm drawing like this, okay, if this is L, if I'm drawing like this, everywhere the angle will be what? 60 degrees, right? So what will be this particular distance? What will be this particular distance? Can you say me? For this, I can apply cos 60. Cos 60 is equal to x by L. So cos 60 is how much? 1 by 2, right? So x is gonna be L by 2. If you do this, you'll get this as root 3 times of L by 2. Again, this will be root 3 L by 2 and L by 2 and so on. So you got the point, I guess. Now I want you to find the various coordinates of this particular one. How to find it? It is quite simple. You need not worry. So if you know the coordinates of one particular point, you can write the coordinates of the remaining 2 points. So first, suppose for point C, I have given the like y-axis distance to be a, but you are going down the origin. So this will be minus a. And then this is simply how much? This will be L by 2, right? You got the point. Now I want D. D is nothing but, see, this is L by 2, this is L, and again this will be L by 2. So the total distance is 2L, and I'm talking from exactly the center, this particular distance. So that will be L, comma, minus A plus, excellent, root 3 L by 2. You got the point. Minus times of A plus root 3 times of L by 2. Now I want the last point Q. The Q is nothing but, see, this is, can I say it as complete one is range R. So can I say it as R by 2? And then you want to write the y-axis coordinate. That will be minus times of A plus root 3L by 2 plus root 3L by 2, that is root 3L. So this is done. Now I want you to solve using that one particular equation all the 3 coordinates. Okay, apply the 3 coordinates on the equation. So we know y is equal to minus kx square. So for the first point, that is nothing but point C. I want that particular coordinates. What is that? That is L by 2 comma A. So just say A, right? This is A is equal to minus A, to be precise, minus k times of L by 2. So L square by 4. So from here you get k value or else something. Let's say A is equal to k L square by 4. Let's see how to solve this. And then coming to the next point. That next one is nothing but y is nothing but, yeah, A plus root 3L by 2. So first coordinate is done. So D I am applying root 3L by 2 is equal to minus k times of x coordinate is L. So L square. So again cancelling this because this is total minus times of A root 3L by 2, A plus root 3L by 2. Now I am talking about the next coordinates. That's our final coordinate. That is R by 2 comma minus A plus root 3L. So minus times of A plus root 3L is equal to how much beta? Minus k R square by 4. Now from the first equation, let's say 1, 2, 3 respectively, from the first equation, or else try to apply the value of A in the second equation. So what will you get from that? K L square by 4. If I substitute K L square by 4 here, you will get K L square minus K L square by 4. That is 3K L square by 4 is equal to root 3 L by 2. From this you will get the value of K. How much will you get the value of K? K is nothing but 2 by root 3 L. Excellent. So remember this. Now I'm gonna replace everything that we have done till now in the third equation. So let's go to the next page for clarity. So what is the third equation we got? A plus root 3L is equal to A plus root 3L is equal to, excellent, K times of R square by 4. So what is A? We have found A is, let's keep it as A only. Okay, let's keep A as A. Or else let's keep it as something. What shall we keep? K L square by 4. We already found it, right? So plus root 3L is equal to K times of R square by 4. And I have already found the value of K. What is that? 2 by root 3L. So 2 by root 3L times of L square by 4 plus root 3L is equal to 2 by root 3L times of R square by 4. Got the point? So from here, if you solve r, that is going to be root 7. So now you got the point, how easily we are solving this particular question. Now I'm going to tell you the traditional method, like the general method. What you'll do is like same. You'll find the equations of coordinates. You'll assume the initial velocity to be u here and then v here. And then you will apply, like, let's say this angle as alpha, let's say this angle as theta. You'll find that you will apply the equation y is equal to x tan theta into 1 tan alpha into 1 minus x by r. And then to this particular projectile, as I said, this particular distance becomes 2n. From that, you will find the value of tan alpha, and then there will be another equation. From that, you will find what is that equation? Horizontal component of velocity will never change. From that, you will get u cos theta is equal to v cos alpha, right? And then they'll say you to conserve the energy. So that is nothing but half mu square initial kinetic energy is equal to, at this particular point, I am conserving the energy, half mv square plus, excellent, mgh. mg into h is nothing but, you'll find this particular distance. We already found it. I guess that is root 3 L by 2 if I'm not wrong. So you'll solve this particular three equations and then you will apply it and you will get the range R and maximum height attained and then initial speed of the projectile. So the particular approach that I said will be very useful for range because the mathematical analysis looks very easy if you understand that. For the general traditional method, you can find u and everything, you'll get the theta and then everything and then you apply. So this method I'm going to give it as homework for you. This is very, very important. Don't neglect this one because when you are able to apply equations and solve to such kind of difficult problems, then your mathematical ability along with the physics conceptual clarity will improve. So with experience, we are saying if something I say you to do it as homework, please try it. Don't neglect it because at last it is going to be useful. Yeah, let's discuss this third question now. From a place on the ground that is 20 meters away from a wall, a bullet is fired, aiming at the 50 meters high mark on the wall. The location of the bullet is as shown by a circular dot at some point of time. Where on the wall will the bullet hit? Very good question. This question is also taken from Pathfinder. It's not a tough question, pretty easy compared to the remaining two questions that we have discussed. So, Pathfinder is a very good book. People say it's tough. Yeah, it's tough. But when you have a good tutor who can teach you well, according to the syllabus of our JE Advanced, the book is very much relevant. If you do that, you're going to get top ranks in JE Advanced. So don't miss the opportunity. Follow this YouTube channel for more Pathfinder questions and then Erodov questions and then Kuroto questions. I'm going to help you all with that in a unique way. Okay, let's see the question now. First, suppose, let's say this as theta and then they are saying that they are aiming at this particular point, but due to resistance and everything, the projectile will not follow that trajectory. Let's say it has followed this trajectory and they are asking at what distance from here on the wall will it hit? So at that particular point, what you should do? So first of all, let's find what is tan theta. Applying it on the bigger triangle that we have, this is 50, this is 20. Opposite by adjacent, that is 5 by 2. We know y is equal to x tan theta. X is nothing but, let's say this point as 10, comma, I guess this is 20. Yeah, 10, comma 20. So y is equal to x tan theta 10 times of 5 by 2 minus, this is also 20, minus g 10 by 2 u square cos square theta times of 100 by times of x square, right? X is here 10, 100. So 2 becomes 5, right? Here 2 again 5. And then you have 25 u square cos square theta minus 500 is equal to 20. So this will be 520 divided by 5. So finally here u square cos square theta becomes 100 if you solve it. Okay. If you take LCM and solve it, you will get u square cos square theta as 100. Now that's not the point. We have another point, right? Here we know that x coordinates is 20 and y coordinate is y. Now we need to apply this particular equation or this particular point in the given equation. So the y coordinate remains as y coordinate that we need to find. That is x tan theta is pi by 2 minus g 10 by 2 u square cos square theta is 100 times of x square, that is 400, right? 100 becomes 4, 2 becomes 5, and again 10, that is 10 minus 50 minus 20, that is 30. So y is equal to 30 meters. It hits the wall at a distance of 30 meters. So beautiful question and an easy question. Now we completed all the 3 questions. So as I said, I'm gonna give a concept and I call it as concept of the video. So today's concept of the video is also based on the point and then point on the projectile. So what that concept is, let's come to the concept of the day. Okay, let's see what's the concept of the day. Concept of the day. So what is that particular concept? See students, what I'm talking about is, let's say this is y axis and then this is x axis. So y and x axis respectively. And there is this particular point only mentioned. Okay. They didn't mention you any data except this point, and then they're saying that the projectile passes through this particular point. And then they're asking you to find what will be the u minimum and then tan theta or tan alpha. So let's say this as theta, the initial projection angle. And I said you, whenever you're having a point, when you know a point and then angle and then you're applying something, just apply y is equal to x tan theta minus g by 2 u square cos square theta. 1 by cos square theta is nothing but secant square theta. Secant square theta is nothing but 1 plus tan square theta. So I rearranged this equation. Okay, 1 plus tan square theta. Now substitute the points a and b and then bring this equation in the quadratic of tan square theta. If you do that, let's say y is equal to b, x is equal to a tan theta minus g by, and don't forget x square here, g by 2 u square times of 1 plus tan square theta into a square. Now if you bring that, you will get a quadratic equation in tan square theta or else tan theta, that will be g a square tan square theta plus 2 u square a tan theta minus g times of, or g a square plus 2 u square b is equal to 0. So this is a quadratic equation in tan square theta. If you write this properly, this is tan square theta. Now for this particular quadratic to be real, because we are having real solutions, right, to this particular equation, then what should be the condition? The real condition should be, the discriminant should be greater than 0. Excellent. The discriminant must be greater than or equal to 0 because they must have a real root. When you do that, you will get u is greater than or equal to root of bg plus g times of root of a square plus b square. That is nothing but, if you replace that in terms of x and y coordinates, if I take g common, this will be y plus root of y square plus x square. This is u. And this will be u minimum is nothing but, take the equal to condition. That is nothing but, excellent, root of g into y plus root of y square plus x square. So you can find tan theta when you substitute this particular, when you solve the equation or u square in this particular equation, you are going to find tan theta, and then tan theta is equal to u square by g alpha, or u square by g times of a. Okay. So I want you to remember, first of all, solve this both. As I said, as I've directly mentioned the steps, because I wanted you to do the mathematics part. If I'm teaching this, it means that I have done the mathematics part and then I'm explaining you. Mathematics part of this particular question is not easy. I have directly written the condition and I have done that. But if you do that, you'll try to improve your mathematics skills, and do that, please. Then only you'll come to know the real toughness of this particular problem. And I want you to all try to remember this result, because somehow it's gonna be very much useful. Whenever there are many questions on JEE Advanced or JEE Mains, which gives you a point and then they ask you to find U minimum to reach that. I think that also came once upon a time, like in 1980s or 1990s, as a PYQ. So if you do that, you will build your conceptual ability in physics. That's also important. Along with max, you need to develop your concepts in physics. So if you are good in physics and if you want to reach pro level, okay, for that particular thing, I suggest you all to do high level mathematics. Okay, practice high level maths because physics and maths goes hand on hand. Then only you can do that. Now let's see this particular homework problem. I'm giving you a homework problem. This is a HW. I'll discuss this particular solution in the next video, but please try this because I'm slowly trying to increase your level. Okay, in the next video that I'm gonna teach, I'm gonna bring very high level problems in kinematics. Another three, the difficult you can say level problems in kinematics. That will not look difficult once I explain. Till then, when you try yourself, the problems look difficult. So I understand what's the problems of JEE aspirants, right? So I'm gonna take another video and suggest you how to overcome that aspect of fear in you while you are solving a problem. That video also is coming soon in our YouTube channel. Till then, keep waiting and then just read this question, okay? A grasshopper at the bottom of a cubical box has to jump out of the box. If each side of the box is h is equal to 50 centimeters, 52 centimeters, and the grasshopper can jump with a maximum initial velocity, u is equal to 3 meter per second. What should be the minimum tilt angle theta, the of the box that the grasshopper can jump out of the box. So I'm just remembering during my JEE advanced preparation time, our particular teacher has given this particular question and then he told us to solve this. And then, yeah, it's a tough one because it requires mathematics again. And yeah, you have multiple approaches to solve this question, but the best approach will stand out. So please do solve this and comment the answer in the comment section and then send your discussions or else send your solution in the Telegram channel. The link is in the description and keep waiting for the second video. And then thank you for seeing the complete video. You have achieved a lot. You have learned a lot because I think whenever I'm posting this type of content, there will be very less students who will wait till end and who will be really interested to learn something. If you are one in it, you are already in the right path. You are in the right path to get success. So please trust on us. Please solve the questions that we are giving. Almost per chapter, we are giving 12 questions and another 10 questions as homework in the Telegram channel. If you solve that 30 questions and then solve the remaining easy level questions, your physics is done for advanced. I'll say it's almost done. So, once again, thank you for listening to the video. Please do subscribe, like, share, and comment. And then let your friends also know about this YouTube channel so that it will be useful for majority of the students. Thank you guys. Love you all and see you in the next video.